Night settles, soft, infinite, silent. You sit beneath the stars. And the world feels wide again, not as a place to conquer, but as a mystery to honor. You are no longer the one who runs. You are the one who watches, who listens, who waits. The wind brushes past your face. You feel the pulse of life around you, every breath, every sound, every flicker of light in the distance. It all belongs to the same vast rhythm. You realize now, you are not separate from it. You are part of it. You whisper to the night, I am here. And the night answers back, in silence, I know. Epictetus said, what upsets people is not things themselves, but their judgments about things. You smile, because you finally understand. You used to believe peace came when the world stopped hurting you, but peace was never outside you. It was always the moment you stopped judging and simply allowed. Now when life stirs chaos, you don't fight it. You let it pass through, like wind through open hands, like rain on stone. There is no resistance, no bitterness, just flow. And in that flow, you discover freedom, the kind that cannot be taken. Freedom from needing more, freedom from fearing less, freedom from yourself. You rise, you begin to walk, each step slow, grounded, alive. Your shadow stretches behind you, but you no longer mistake it for your enemy. You've learned to walk with it as a companion, not a curse, because every human carries light and shadow. The Stoics knew this. They didn't seek to erase one, but to bring both into harmony. Marcus Aurelius wrote, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. And so, you become one, quietly, steadily, without the need for praise or witness. You no longer shout your truth. You live it. Your actions are slow, your words deliberate. Your presence enough. You do not demand from life. You participate in it. The noise of the world fades, not because it is gone, but because you are no longer tuned to it. You are tuned inward, to stillness, to simplicity, to strength. You understand now that mastery is not control. It is surrender. It is knowing when to act and when to let go. The moon rises high, a silver eye watching over the sleeping earth. You watch it too, and you realize it has always been there, shining quietly through your storms. You just never looked up before. You laugh softly, not from joy, not from sorrow, but from the gentle wonder of seeing clearly. This is peace, not perfection, not escape, just presence. You stand at the edge of the night, feeling the vastness of it all. Your pain, your joy, your failures, your victories, they all dissolve into one quiet truth. You have always been enough. And in this realization, you finally stop searching. You rest, you breathe, you are home. The night deepens, the stars grow colder, and somewhere in that quiet expanse, you find yourself again, not the self the world demanded, but the one that simply is. You feel small beneath the infinite, but not afraid. You feel fragile, but also eternal. For the first time, you understand what it means to belong to everything. Every breath you take is borrowed from the trees. Every thought you think is born from those who came before you. Every heartbeat echoes the rhythm of the cosmos itself. You are not alone. You never were. The Stoics spoke of this unity, that to live according to nature is to live according to truth. And truth is simple. We are all connected to the pain we've caused, to the love we've shared, to the ground we walk upon. You close your eyes, and you can almost feel the pulse of the earth beneath your feet. Ancient, patient, endless. You whisper softly, I surrender. And in that surrender, you are reborn. All the walls you built begin to fall. The armor you wore for years dissolves in the dark. You no longer need to protect yourself from life. You are life. There is no more battle between who you are and who you thought you should be. You finally allow yourself to exist without resistance. Seneca said,
he who is brave is free.
And bravery, you realize, is not found in victory. It is found in vulnerability. It is standing open in the storm and saying, I will not close my heart. You think of the past, of all the times you were broken, and how each breaking was really a beginning. Every loss was a teacher, every failure a lantern, guiding you deeper within. You see it now, how everything that hurt you was shaping you, how every ending was making space for what was meant to come. The pain didn't destroy you. It sculpted you, like marble yielding to the artist's hand. You became something truer, simpler, more real. You are not the same. And that is grace. The night wind moves again. It carries whispers of distant lives, laughter, sorrow, prayer, and you listen to it all, without judgment, because you know now every soul is walking its own unseen path. Every heart is learning in its own language. Every wound is a doorway to understanding. And so you forgive completely. Quietly, you forgive the world for being imperfect. You forgive yourself for expecting it not to be. Epictetus once said, "Remember that you are an actor in a drama, of such kind as the author pleases to make it." And you smile, because now you accept your role. You no longer fight the script. You live it fully. You play your part with honor, with humility, with heart. And when the scene ends, you will bow with peace, knowing you gave truth to every moment you were given. The stars continue their silent journey. The night breathes around you, and in that vast eternal calm, you finally understand this stillness, this awareness, this presence is what the Stoics meant by freedom. Not freedom from the world, freedom within it, freedom to feel deeply, to live bravely, to die peacefully. You lift your eyes to the horizon. The horizon glows faintly. The first breath of morning after a long night. You stand still, watching the sky change. The darkness softens, and the world begins again. There is something sacred about the quiet before dawn. It feels like forgiveness, like renewal, like truth. You close your eyes and listen to the silence before sound. The air is cold, but alive. It touches your face gently, as if the universe itself were welcoming you home. You breathe deeply, and the air feels different now. Not heavy, not rushed, but clean, pure, alive. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love." You whisper those words to yourself, not as a mantra, but as a truth, because for the first time, you feel them, you understand them. You open your eyes. The sky is turning gold. The light spills slowly across the earth, and you realize this is what rebirth looks like. Not fireworks, not triumph, just quiet illumination. You remember the version of yourself that stood here once before, the one burdened by fear, by confusion, by noise. You smile softly, not with pity, but with gratitude. That version walked you here. That pain built your strength. That struggle taught you peace. You whisper, "Thank you," because every broken piece of you was a step toward wholeness. Every fall was a descent toward truth. Every ending was the soil for a new beginning. You stretch your hands toward the sun. It warms your skin, and you feel its light seep into your bones. You are no longer chasing greatness. You are embodying it, not through wealth, not through fame, but through presence. True greatness, you've learned, is not loud. It does not demand attention. It simply radiates, quiet and unshakable, like the sun rising again and again, asking nothing in return. The world around you awakens. Birds call softly. The wind stirs. Life hums in quiet harmony. You walk forward. Slow, grounded, deliberate. There is no destination now. Every step is the destination. Every breath is the arrival. Seneca said, "Begin at once to live, and count each separate day as a separate life." And so you do. You live fully. Not someday. Not when things are perfect. But now, here, in this simple eternal morning, you watch the sun climb higher, casting gold across everything it touches. And for a moment, you understand that this light is the same light that has always burned within you. It never left. You only had to clear the clouds. You smile, not because life is easy, but because it's yours. Every mistake, every tear, every joy, it all belongs to you, and you wouldn't trade any of it. The Stoics were right. Peace is not found by avoiding the storm. Peace is found by learning to stand still within it. And you have learned. The day begins. You step into it, carrying the silence of the night within you, the wisdom of the past behind you, and the fire of a calm, awakened heart ahead, no longer broken, no longer searching, just alive, fully, completely, eternally. The day unfolds slowly. Soft light spills through the branches, gliding across the ground, like a quiet promise. You walk among the living. The world hums around you. The distant chatter of people, the murmur of streets, the pulse of life itself. And yet within you, there is only stillness. Not emptiness, but depth. A calm so vast that the noise no longer touches it. You have learned to dwell in silence while surrounded by motion, to listen without reacting, to see without grasping, to live without clinging. This is what mastery feels like. Not dominance, but balance. You move through the day like a river moves through stone. Gentle, but unstoppable. Your words are few, but they carry weight. Your actions are quiet, but they echo far. You are no longer driven by ego, but by clarity. You understand now. You are not what you own, not what they say, not what they remember. You are what you become. When everything else is stripped away, Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Look well into yourself. There is a source of strength, which will always spring up if you will always look." And you have looked deeply, fearlessly. You've seen the storm, the darkness, the cracks. And instead of running, you stayed. You stayed until you found the light. Now you carry that light into every space you enter, not as a savior, but as a mirror. You remind others, without words, that peace is possible, that stillness is strength. You no longer seek validation. You no longer chase approval, because you've realized the only opinion that truly matters is your own soul's quiet knowing, and your soul is calm now. It whispers gently, "You are enough." You see others rush past, chasing time, money, meaning, and you feel compassion, not judgment, because you were there once. You know the ache of wanting. You know the fire of unrest, but you also know how sacred it is to finally stop running, to sit, to breathe, to trust. Epictetus said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." And you are content to be misunderstood, because truth no longer needs an audience. It simply is. You look around, at strangers, at movement, at noise, and you realize none of it disturbs your center anymore, because you are not in the world to control it. You are here to live in harmony with it. There is nothing left to prove, nothing left to fix, only moments left to live. Fully, honestly, presently. The day warms, the world moves, and through it all, you remain, anchored in stillness, soft in strength, silent in truth. You walk on, not toward anything, but with everything, the universe at your back, the horizon before you, and peace, resting gently within your chest. The afternoon hums quietly, shadows lengthen across the earth, and everything slows, as if the universe itself is exhaling. You pause beneath a tree, watching the light shift through its trembling leaves. Each flicker feels like a heartbeat, each whisper of wind, a message you once couldn't hear. Now, you understand every silence, every pause, every space between moments. For a long time, you lived only in the noise, in the ache of wanting, in the roar of becoming. But now, you know the real power lies in stillness. Marcus Aurelius said, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." And you've built that retreat, stone by stone, breath by breath. No matter where you stand, you carry peace with you, even in chaos, even in uncertainty, especially there. You look at the world now and see its beauty, even in its brokenness, the same way you learned to see beauty in your own scars. Because pain, when seen clearly, is not destruction. It's creation in disguise. You remember how it felt to break, to fall, to lose everything you thought you were, and how, in that emptiness, you finally met the truth. You were never the mask, never the story, never the noise. You were always the silence beneath it all. Seneca once wrote, "To be calm is the highest achievement of the self." And so, you learned calmness, not as absence of motion, but as the balance within it. You can face the storm now, without trembling. You can sit in loss, without despair. You can hold pain, without becoming it. This is not indifference, it is transcendence. You see the world as it is, not as you wish it to be. And yet, you love it anyway. You love its impermanence, its flaws, its fragile beauty, because it mirrors your own. Everything passes, everything changes, everything returns. And that you've learned is not tragedy. It's grace. The sun begins to sink. Golden light spills through the horizon, turning the world into fire. You stand quietly, watching the sky burn itself into memory, and you realize this is what life is meant to feel like. Not constant joy, but constant awe. Awe at how fleeting, and yet how full, it all is. You whisper softly, I am grateful. Grateful for the pain that forged your strength. Grateful for the silence that birthed your peace. Grateful for the moments you once cursed, because they were shaping the wisdom you now live by. You smile, not because everything is perfect, but because everything is real. You have learned what the Stoics taught, that happiness does not come from control, but from surrender, from aligning your will with what is. And so you do. You surrender to the light, to the dark, to the eternal rhythm of all things. The wind shifts, the sky darkens, and the day, like every day, bows tonight. But this time, you do not fear the darkness. You welcome it, because you know the same light that guided you through it once will rise again. It always does. And so will you. The sun disappears beyond the edge of the world. Twilight lingers, a soft, trembling hush between what was and what will be. You stand in that quiet hour, where time itself seems to pause. Birds settle, winds fade, even your heartbeat feels slower, more deliberate. This is the moment the Stoics cherished, when reflection begins and the soul returns home. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, when you arise in the morning, think what a privilege it is to be alive. But when you retire at night, remember what you have done, and let it be enough. You breathe in that wisdom now. The day has come and gone. You have walked through its joys, its sorrows, its tests. You have met each moment as best you could, and that is enough. You no longer measure your life in victories, but in awareness, in how deeply you lived, how honestly you loved, how calmly you endured. The fire of striving has cooled into something steady, a warm, constant light that no longer burns, but illuminates. You sit quietly, watching the colors fade from the horizon. The world dissolves into shadow, and the first stars return, unhurried, unannounced, as if they've always been there. And maybe they have. Maybe they were waiting for you to be still enough to notice. You smile at the simplicity of it all. The Stoics never promised a painless life. They promised a peaceful one, a life in alignment with nature, with reason, with acceptance. And here, in this gentle dusk, you understand what that means. You are not trying to control the sun. You are not cursing the night. You are simply witnessing. You are participating in the eternal rhythm of existence. The same rhythm that carries the tides, that births the seasons, that moves the stars. It also moves through you. Seneca said, begin at once to live, and count each separate day as a separate life. And so you do. You live this day completely, and now you let it go completely. No regret, no grasping, just gratitude. You think of all the people you've met, some who stayed, some who drifted away like wind. You think of the laughter, the arguments, the silences, each of them a lesson, each of them a reflection of something you needed to see within yourself. You forgive them all. You forgive yourself too, because you finally understand. Forgiveness is not about forgetting. It's about releasing the weight that no longer belongs to you. The sky turns deeper now, a canvas of black and silver. The stars shimmer, ancient and patient. You lie back and look at them. They do not rush. They do not ask. They simply are. And in their stillness, you see your own reflection. For you, too, have learned to simply be, to exist without explanation, to shine quietly in the dark. The wind moves softly through the grass. The night hums with distant life. And you, for the first time, feel truly at one with everything. You whisper into the sky, I understand now. And though no voice answers, you feel the truth return. Not in word. The night is deep now. The world sleeps. And for once, so does your mind. No racing thoughts, no unfinished battles. Just breath. Slow, quiet, endless. This peace feels foreign at first. Like a gift you once believed you didn't deserve. But you let it in. You let it stay, because you fought long enough. You've carried every question, every shadow, every ache. And now, it's time to rest. Marcus Aurelius said, be tolerant with others and strict with yourself. You were. You learned discipline. You endured. But now, you've also learned its balance. Compassion, not just for the world, but for yourself. The Stoics never meant hardness. They meant wholeness. They meant the calm born from wisdom, not the numbness born from pain. And now you know the difference. You breathe again. In, out, in, out. Each breath a quiet promise. Each pause a reminder that even in stillness, life moves. You think of the journey behind you, the nights of confusion, the days of striving, the moments you wanted to give up, but you didn't. You stayed. You faced yourself. You rebuilt your soul from the silence outward. And here you are, no longer reaching for meaning, but resting in it. You whisper softly, thank you. Not to anyone, not to anything specific, but to life itself, for its cruel mercy, its gentle brutality, its honest lessons. You thank the pain for teaching you resilience. You thank loneliness for teaching you self-connection. You thank loss for teaching you love without possession. You understand now. Nothing was wasted. Not a single tear, not a single failure. All of it led you here, to this vast, open quiet, to this truth. You have always been becoming. The night breathes with you. It doesn't end. It simply deepens. And you realize there is no destination, only continual awakening. You remember what Epictetus taught. Don't seek for everything to happen as you wish it would, but wish for everything to happen as it actually does, and your life will be serene. Serene, yes, that is the word. Not joy, not triumph, just serenity. A calm heart in a chaotic world. A quiet flame in an endless night. You open your eyes again. The stars are fading. The edge of the sky glows faintly blue. Morning is returning. And this time, you do not dread the cycle. You embrace it, because you understand. The end and the beginning are the same. The dusk and the dawn are one eternal breath. You rise slowly, the earth cool beneath your feet. The air tastes new. You smile, not for the future, not for the past, but for this moment, this sacred now. The sun has not yet risen, but you already see the light, because now you are the dawn. You carry it within you, calm, unshakable, infinite, and as you walk forward into the soft light, the voice within you whispers one final truth. You have not escaped life. You have become one with it. The first light touches the horizon, gentle golden, like forgiveness spilling over the edge of the world. You stand there, not as who you were, but as who you've become. No armor, no performance, just presence. The morning air is cool against your skin. It carries the scent of rain, of renewal, of possibility. You inhale deeply, and for the first time, you are not trying to escape your life. You are breathing it in. Every failure, every heartbreak, every quiet victory folds into one long breath of belonging. This world, so chaotic, so temporary, so beautifully fragile, was never meant to be controlled. It was meant to be lived. Marcus Aurelius said, look well into yourself. There is a source of strength, which will always spring up, if you will always look. You found that spring. It was never outside you. It was the quiet beneath the noise, the peace beneath the pain. You smile, because you know now, even if the world collapses tomorrow, you would not. You would bend, but not break. You would grieve, but not lose yourself. That is self-mastery, not control, but clarity, not indifference, but understanding. You walk slowly through the waking fields, feeling the dew touch your feet. Every step is a meditation, every sound, the whisper of existence itself. You realize there is no higher state to reach, no final mountain to conquer. The miracle has already happened. You are alive. You look at the rising sun, and it feels like looking at yourself. The same light, the same calm fire, the same inevitable rise. You think of the people still lost in darkness, searching, doubting, aching, and you wish them peace. You wish them this stillness, this knowing, because you've seen both worlds, the noise and the silence, the chaos and the calm, and now you understand that both belong, both teach, both shape. The Stoics knew this long ago. They saw that peace is not found by avoiding storms, but by learning to stand within them without losing your balance. And you stand now, steady, unmoved by praise, unbroken by pain, alive, and deeply human. You whisper quietly, almost as a prayer, "I am enough." The words echo softly through the air, not as arrogance, but as truth. You no longer chase meaning. You embody it. You no longer seek love. You become it. The day begins to unfold. Birds rising from the trees, the world awakening with its quiet hum. And as you walk forward, light spilling across your path, you realize something profound. Life was never asking you to be perfect. It was only asking you to be present. You stop. You close your eyes one last time, and in that vast silent pause between breaths, you feel the universe breathing with you. One rhythm, one heart, one eternal now. The day unfolds gently, not with thunder, not with grandeur, but with quiet certainty. The light touches everything equally. Stone, leaf, broken wall, sleeping dog. It asks for nothing in return. It simply gives. And that, you realize, is how you wish to live. Not to shine for others, but to shine with them. Not to seek approval, but to be authentic. Not to conquer life, but to cooperate with it. You have spent years running from pain, from loneliness, from your own reflection, and yet, here you are, standing in the same light that once terrified you. It is softer now, because you are softer now. Seneca once said, "He who is brave is free." You understand that now. Freedom is not the absence of chains. It is the acceptance of what is. You move through the world differently. Every step carries intention. Every glance holds gratitude. You speak less, but when you do, your words carry the weight of truth. You no longer rush. You walk with the rhythm of the earth. You no longer demand outcomes. You trust the unfolding. People will still misunderstand you. Some will call your calmness detachment. Some will mistake your peace for weakness. But you know, they are still learning. You were once like them, hungry for validation, afraid of silence. You smile at your former self, not with pity, but with compassion. That version of you fought hard to survive. And because of that, you get to live now. The sun climbs higher. Shadows shorten. Life continues its eternal motion. You feel time passing, but it no longer scares you. You do not cling. You do not resist. You simply witness the impermanence and find peace in its flow. Marcus Aurelius whispered this truth centuries ago. Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth. And so you release the need to argue, to convince, to win, because real victory is the quiet mind that needs no proof. You help where you can. You forgive where you must. You let go when it is time. There is no drama in your doing, no noise in your becoming. You are aligned now. With life, with truth, with yourself. You stop at the edge of a river. The water flows endlessly, reflecting light like liquid time. You kneel, touch its surface, and see your reflection ripple, shift, return, and in that moment, you understand something sacred. You are not separate from this flow. You are the current, the reflection, and the depth beneath both. You rise, wipe the water from your fingers, and keep walking, not toward a destination, but within a state of being. You carry no map now, no plan, just awareness. Because finally, after everything, you trust life, and even more, you trust yourself. The afternoon hums softly. A golden stillness spread across the horizon. The air is alive, but calm. The world breathes slowly now, and so do you. Everything feels lighter. Even the weight of existence has become a kind of grace. You walk through a field of tall grass, each blade swaying gently in the wind, bowing to something greater, something unseen. And you realize you are bowing to, not in defeat, but in reverence. Life has humbled you, and in that humbling, it has set you free. You no longer need the world to understand you. You no longer chase recognition, for you've learned that peace is the highest form of success. Epictetus once said, "Circumstances don't make the man, they only reveal him to himself." And you have seen yourself in the storms, in the silence, in the ache of becoming. You know now that your strength was never loud. It was the quiet choice to rise one more time, to love one more time, to breathe one more time. You reach a hilltop. The valley stretches below. Villages, rivers, trees, bathed in a warm, forgiving light. The same world that once felt cruel now looks beautiful. Not because it changed, but because you did. You sit down. You don't need to move anymore. There is nowhere to go, but deeper into the moment. You listen. To the birds, to the leaves, to the faint rhythm of your own heart. It beats in harmony now, not against life, but with it. There were times you thought peace meant stillness, an end to struggle, a life without waves. But now you understand? Peace is not the absence of movement. It is moving with grace. It is saying yes to what is. The sun begins its slow descent. Its light softens, and shadows stretch long across the ground. You think of everything you once feared. Failure, loss, time, death, and you feel no fear now. Because each of them is only a form of transformation. Nothing truly ends. It merely changes shape. You whisper, "All that I lose returns in another form." And you smile, because you've lived enough to know it's true. The Stoics taught that we are all actors in a divine play, each given a role, not to question, but to perform well. And you have performed yours with sincerity. You did not seek applause. You sought truth, and that is enough. The wind rises again, carrying with it the scent of the sea, salt, memory, eternity. You close your eyes, and it feels like the whole world is breathing through you. There is no separation now, no division between body and soul, between world and self. Only one continuous motion, one quiet eternity unfolding within you. And as the sun lowers itself beyond the edge of the earth, you realize this too is love, the giving, the fading, the return. You whisper to the dying light, "I am not afraid." And the silence that follows feels like the universe answering back, "I know." Dusk settles again. The sky burns with that quiet fire only endings know. Amber bleeding into violet, violet fading into blue. You watch it all happen, without trying to hold on, without needing it to last. This is what peace feels like. The soft acceptance of impermanence. The wind moves through the grass, like a gentle thought, and you understand now. Nothing belongs to you, yet everything passes through you. You remember when that truth terrified you. The idea that nothing could be kept, that everything you loved would eventually fade. But now, you see it differently. You were never meant to keep life. You were meant to feel it, to touch it as it moves, to love it as it changes, to trust it as it leaves. Seneca once said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." You repeat those words softly, and they no longer feel like a warning. They feel like gratitude, because you're no longer wasting it. You are here, fully. You look at the horizon, the last light fades, and you feel the deep stillness that comes when the day finally exhales. You realize that life is not a race to meaning. It is meaning. Each second, each breath, each glance at the world is the miracle you were searching for. You think of your younger self again, so desperate to prove, to arrive, to be someone. And you wish you could tell them this. You didn't need to become more. You only needed to remember who you already were. You are not the storm you survived. You are the sky that held it. The night unfolds slowly now, deep and patient. A single star appears, then another, then countless more. You lie back against the earth. The soil is cool, the grass whispering softly beneath your hands. You feel your heartbeat slowing, steady, calm, alive. And in that stillness, you feel the truth that all Stoics knew, that life, death, joy, and pain are not opposites, but companions, all necessary, all divine. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Accept whatever comes to you woven in the pattern of your destiny, for what could more aptly fit your needs?" You breathe that in. You accept everything. The broken paths, the long nights, the beauty, the loss. It all fits perfectly. There is nothing left to fix, nothing left to chase, only this vast quiet harmony between your soul and existence itself. You close your eyes. The wind brushes your face like the hand of something eternal. And for the first time in your life, you don't wish to change a single thing, not the pain, not the mistakes, not even the endings, because every ending is just life turning the page. And you are the story that continues. Night deepens. The stars shimmer with ancient patience. They look down on you, as they have looked on emperors and beggars, philosophers and wanderers, each of them asking the same question you once asked. Why am I here? You no longer need the answer. The question itself has become enough. It is the hum beneath existence, the pulse of curiosity that keeps your soul awake. You breathe beneath the infinite, and for the first time, you do not feel small beneath it. You feel part of it. Every flickering star, every drifting cloud, every breath of wind, feels connected to you, as if the universe has folded slightly inward. Just a whisper. You were never alone. You think of everything you once feared. The uncertainty, the silence, the emptiness. And now you see, they were never enemies. They were invitations. The Stoics said to welcome discomfort, to walk willingly through what others flee. You did. You faced the shadows inside you, and you found the light that cannot be extinguished. Epictetus taught, no man is free who is not master of himself. And you understand that mastery now, not as control, but as surrender. To choose calmness, even when chaos knocks. To choose gratitude, even when nothing makes sense. To choose presence, when the mind begs for escape. You look up again. The stars blur slightly, not from distance, but from tears. Not of sorrow, but of realization. All your life, you were searching for meaning, for purpose, for the reason behind it all. And now you see, it was never hidden. It was living itself through you. Every act of kindness, every moment of patience, every small victory of the spirit. That was the purpose. That was the point. You rise slowly, your body light, your mind quiet. The wind carries a faint sound, the whisper of leaves, the murmur of distant waves. And in that rhythm, you hear the language of existence. It speaks without words. All things are one. You walk through the darkness, not afraid. The path glows faintly ahead, not from light, but from awareness. The more you release, the more you see. The more you accept, the freer you become. This is the paradox of wisdom. The closer you move toward nothing, the more you find everything. The Stoics knew this secret, but now it's no longer philosophy. It's your heartbeat, your breath, your life. You smile, a soft, knowing smile, because you understand something timeless. There is no final peace waiting at the end. Peace is the path, and you've been walking it all along. The night hums, the stars watch, the world turns, and in the quiet, you whisper the truth you've carried through fire, through loss, through silence. I am here. And that is enough. The horizon is only a faint line now, a whisper of light waiting to be born again. The world is still, as if holding its breath before the first spark of dawn. You stand there, bathed in darkness that no longer frightens you. It feels gentle now, like the pause between heartbeats, the silence between two truths. And in that pause, you understand something final, something vast. Life is not a straight path. It is a circle, a sacred return. Everything you have lost has found a new form. Everything you have feared has become your teacher. Everything you have endured has prepared you to see, not with your eyes, but with your soul. Marcus Aurelius once said, death smiles at us all. All we can do is smile back. You smile now, not because you seek an end, but because you have finally seen life clearly enough to not be afraid of its rhythm. You walk toward the edge of the sea. Waves stretch endlessly, their sound ancient, their motion eternal. Each wave rises, breaks, returns, just like thought, like breath, like existence itself. You sit where the water meets the sand. The tide reaches your feet, pulls back, returns again. You feel it like a conversation, you and the universe speaking in silence. There are no more questions left in you, no need to prove, no need to understand, only a deep, quiet love for everything that ever was. You think of all the souls walking this same earth, each carrying unseen battles, each yearning for meaning. You wish them clarity, you wish them patience, you wish them peace, because you've seen what waits, beyond resistance, a soft eternal acceptance. The sky begins to lighten, faint gold threads through the blue. The first bird sings, the sea shimmers, and the world begins again. But this time, you don't feel like a spectator, you feel like part of the sunrise itself. Every breath, every sound, every flicker of light. It's all one. It's all you. You rise with the day. No hurry, no wait, just awareness. The light touches your face, and you close your eyes, letting it fill you completely. You've walked through the darkness. You've met yourself in silence. You've learned that mastery was never about